Okay, Justin, so the season's over. Quite a successful year for yourself in the first year as first team manager. How have you found your first season in charge?
Yeah, loved every minute of it. It's a job that came to me, sort of an opportunity where I didn't know it was definitely going to be there, and once it happened, I've just loved every minute of it. There's been some great moments throughout the season, and even for the tough moments, it's just been a great challenge and something that I've really enjoyed doing. So just loved every minute. Happy to just want to improve and get better and take it into next year, really. So really enjoyed it. Yeah.
And because obviously you were with the reserves last season, obviously a little bit different level of football. What were some of the challenges you faced this season as first team manager?
It's tough to say, really. I mean, it's obviously a bit more high profile and a bit more pressure, I suppose. But I've sort of enjoyed that, so it's not been something I've really found difficult. For me, the worst part of this job is telling people they're not playing. To be honest, the players that don't get in, whether it's sometimes that can be just putting someone on the bench, or it can be not even including someone in the squad. For me, all the sort of tough parts that come with it, I can handle. Injuries and people not available. I just think personally, I try and spin it and have it as a positive, so that gives opportunity to other players. So it really doesn't bother me stuff like that. But having to tell a player that they're dropped when I know they're desperate to play for the club is something I don't like doing. So that's been the challenge for me is man management, really, and I try and do it as best I can, and the attitude of them has been superb. Coming off the bench, there's been no one sulking or anything like that. They've come off the bench and really contributed to games. So I can't fault the players how they've dealt with it, but just actually having to tell lads that they're on the bench isn't great. So that's probably the thing I've not enjoyed.
In recent years, when the results haven't been going the team's way, players kind of move clubs. They move around a lot, especially around here when there's other clubs like Chippenham Park where there were Rises and Carn. Do you think that there's more loyalty back at this club now?
Yeah, massively. I think I do think me and the management have to take a little bit of credit for that, because that's what we're trying to, when we recruit a player, that's something I look into at the moment. There have been opportunities this season where we could sign someone, and already in pre-season people have contacted me about coming, and not sure we want that, to be honest. I don't want someone who I'm not sure, if I know we're third this year, but if what happens if next year we're lower than another Wiltshire team, will they stay? I want to make sure that people are here for whatever we're trying to do and loyal, and I think the group we've got are massively loyal. I think they've been so behind what we're trying to do, and like I said, there's been no ego. Everyone's about the team, and that's been a massive part of it. So yeah, I think the lads we've got are loyal, and I think they're behind everything I'm trying to do and everything we're trying to do. So testament to them, really, for getting behind what we're trying to do and performing and to what they can do. Yeah.
And looking at our results as a whole over the season, we've kind of gone up and down in terms of consistency. Do you think that dropping points in November, December have potentially cost us maybe finishing higher?
Maybe, but I personally don't think so. I think when you look at it, we actually finished 14 points behind Cheddar, who finished second, and they finished 9 points behind Corsham. So I don't think anything we could have done this year would have really even caught that. I don't think. I think a league doesn't lie. I think where we are is where we are. I think we're the best of the rest, really, from the two that finished up there. I think. It's all very well saying we lost points here and there, but I actually think we won points sometimes, and we're fortunate to do that as well. So, like I said, it sort of balances itself out, and I think we finished sort of where we were. This was a first year project. I've learnt a lot. I know the players have learnt a lot. So next year we can start well, hoping that we can bridge that gap and make sure that doesn't happen next year, and that we can get promoted if we deserve to, and if we can try and achieve that. But I think overall this season, I think we are where we are. I've not got no complaints, really.
And do you have a personal highlight this season? Obviously there were some great moments throughout the season, including, I know it didn't go our way, but going 2-0 up at Cheddar, and obviously Bright, you get an equaliser against Wells earlier on in the season. Do you have a particular personal highlight?
I've got loads, if I'm honest. It's been a great year. Obviously when you finish third, you've had a lot more highlights than low points, but just a sort of a few. I think away at Calm, when we went down to 10 men after 20 minutes, and then I think we were the better side, to be honest. I think we had better chances to win the game, and I think that was a turning point for us this year to go on the run that we did at the second half. I think that was definitely a turning point, and it changed for us since then, and we went on that run. I think Chard away, when we had a different team and we won 3-0. I think Portishead away when Ben Selman scored. I think that, as a youth team product, that was class. I think Bishop's Lydiard away as well, winning 5-0 and being top of the table after that, and then we had a coach journey back, and you can imagine what that was like once that happened. So there's been loads of sort of individual wins, but I just think generally the season and just finishing third and everyone being really up for it and being really happy with the club and the great vibe we've managed to get is a really good stepping stone for next year. So yeah, there's a few sort of points, but I think we're just happy that there have been a lot of highlights throughout the season.
And obviously, it wasn't just your first season in charge. Jamie took in charge for his first season in management of the reserves.
Yep.
Does it help the first team when the reserves are so strong?
Yeah, massively. I think, for various reasons, I think you obviously just want to be strong throughout the whole club. But I think when we have to take a player or we need a player, you don't want not many. You've got good options. I honestly think if you had to have any of those reserve players come into to our team, whether it was on the bench, whether starting, I think they could all do a job for us. I think I'd have no issue taking any of the reserve players I've seen this year. And also when our players have to drop down, we have had, it hasn't happened often, but we've had moments where we've had a really full squad and a couple have had to drop down to the reserves. You want them playing in a team where they're happy to go and play. You don't want them thinking, I'm not going to go to them because they're not great. They're going into a competitive team who've got good players around them where they know they can have a good game of football to get some match practice or get some fitness from an injury or something. So, it's really important that we have a strong reserve team, and I think Jamie's been brilliant with the team he's sort of assembled and what he's done there. So yeah, I think it's vital, and I think he's done really well.
One of the things that Chris Perry, the chairman, wanted to focus on when he took over was to get a youth setup back at the club again.
Yeah.
Their first season back, and obviously second from bottom, as Joe Martin said earlier, wasn't what they were hoping for.
Yeah.
What's your assessment of the youth team after their first year? Because it has been beneficial for both you and Jamie with Corey and Ben.
Yeah.
But what's your overall assessment of their first season back?
It's always hard. I mean, when you're starting a team up like that, it's difficult. I think personally it says a lot about a team when we do it when we're in positions where we're in losing positions. You tell a lot by players when you're in tough positions, with certain aspects of it. So the fact that they were in that sort of run throughout the season and didn't fold or didn't give up or anything like that, that's testament for them as people as well as players. And it works in cycles. They'll have a better year next year because they'll be a year older. They'll be playing against teams younger. So it's just great to have them back, and it's something we're really keen to do. I know Chris Perry's keen to do it, and so am I. To have Corsham players coming through is something we really want to do, and I touched on it before, but we didn't just bring players in for the sake of it. Ben, Selman and Corey played for us because we needed them to play, and they contributed to us getting points, and I know they did the same for Jamie in the reserve. So it's vital to have an under-18s. We don't want any young player who's decent in this town going to another team, a local team, and because we haven't got an under-18s and then going to their reserves, and that we want them starting here, coming to our first team. And Ben and Corey, didn't start many games, but it's a progression thing. So once they improve and get better, eventually they'll play more games for us, and we're hoping that next year there'll be a couple more who come through. So massively vital and really important, and we're really happy with what they've done this year.
Before moving on to the award winners,
yep.
Who were the most improved players for you this season in the first
team? It's a bit of a tough one, that the improved, because I think everyone has got better. I think we have as a team, not just in terms of playing, but in terms of characters, and everyone sort of understood more about how to win a game and how to go about a match in terms of the right attitude. So I do think we've all got better as we've gone on, but I think Adam Shipman for me, I think he's just got better and better. I think the first half of the season, you won't mind me saying that his performances were up and down. I think he'd be on the bench, then he'd play well, deserved to get a start of the game after, and then maybe didn't quite take his chance when he'd start. But since the turn of the year, I think he's just got better and better. I think he's one of the first names on the team sheet. I think his whole attitude about wanting to win for the club and everything he does behind the scenes as well, and just his performances. I think the biggest compliment I can pay him is that he was behind a couple of people in terms of fullback positions at the start of the season, and now he's ahead of them. So hopefully he can have a good pre-season start again next year. But I think he's just gone from strength to strength and taking his game to another level, really. I think he's been great.
I noticed in the background Leo and Phil eating away there.
Yeah.
How has it been having two really experienced men in the Western League helping you out in your first season?
Oh, huge, massive. I mean, Phil's been with me since I did the reserves, so he, I don't know many people know this, but he was here as when I came here and when I first got into the reserves. This would have been back in 2004, something like that. He was the assistant then here, so I knew him from then. And then when I took over as the reserve manager, like 5-6 years ago, I needed someone experienced. Always got on well with Phil, and he come and watch the games in it, and he come and join me then. So to do that journey with him has been great. And Stu's then joined that, but I knew that it wouldn't be enough just me and Phil with this year. I didn't want to be. I'm not naive. I was confident I could do the job well, but I needed any good people around me. So Tim and Leo, to get them in this league was huge. They all know everything about the league. I mean, Tim was manager of Chippenham Park, who were the best Wiltshire team in the league last year. So for him to come and join us as a previous manager, and Leo, of all the experience he's got, has been absolutely massive. So between the sort of four of us, I think we've got it all covered. And it's been huge and really helped me personally along the way with little bits and pieces here that I wouldn't have known. So that's been massive.
Moving on to the awards now. We'll start off with your player of the year, the manager's player of the year. This year you chose Josh Bright, who of course was with you predominantly in the reserves last season, and is the club top scorer this season with 16 goals, which is a good start for him in this league.
Yeah.
Could you just tell me a little bit more as to why you chose him for the award?
Yeah, it was, for me, that was really hard because, during the speech I was trying to give everyone recognition because it's huge as to what everyone's done for me, but he just edged it because it's tough being up front, when you're, he's quick, he's got a trick in him, he's a good goal scorer, but it would be easy for him to just sort of do that and not worry about other things. But his work rate, the fact he chases lost causes, chases channels, runs in behind, never moans, does it over and over again throughout a game. And like you touched upon, I know he's our top goal scorer, but I'd be very interested in how many assists he got, and even aside from that, just how he's contributed to other attacks that haven't even resulted in an assist or a goal. I think he would have really added, if you took into consideration all the goals he's been involved with because of what he's done, I think he's probably just edged it. So the fact that he managed to get magic moments with certain things when he especially at the start of the season when we were getting goals and stuff, I think he really stepped up then, and his work rate as well just sort of edged it for him. And even when Jamal joined and we moved him a little bit more wider and Jamal in the middle, didn't care, just got on with the team. I spoke to him at a point in the season and I said, look, I know you're not getting as many goals. He didn't care. It didn't bother him at all. He just wanted to win. So that's so unselfish, but for someone who's so flamboyant and such a good player, fair play to him because he doesn't care about that. He's all about the team. So for me, throughout a whole season, that just edged it for me, and he's done really, really well.
Moving on to the Players' Player of the Year. This season they voted for John Basley, who of course won the Young Player of the Year last year. He's your vice captain and has made 42 appearances for the side this year, which is more than anyone else. I think. What effect has he had on the side, and just how important will he be to the club in years to come?
He's already important now. He must be 19, 20, something like that. And he's been a figure in the first team since he was 16. I had him when he in the reserves for about 10 games, and then straight away he was pushed into the first team with a manager at that point who had a lot of money and could get people wherever he wanted, and he still played Basley because of how good he was. So he's vital. I don't think I still don't think he knows how good he is. I think he could demand more from people around him because he's that good. I think people look up to him already. Like you said, he's a vice captain. That's the reason I made him vice captain, because people look up to him, and I just think he's vital for us, really. Everything he offers us, the determination, when we're losing, he's the one who steps up. He adds goals. He's a bit of a voice and just a great lad as well. Really nice bloke, and people want to play well for him. So it's been a pleasure managing him, really, and it's a shame because he's going to uni next year. But I think he wants to come back. It's a local uni, so the aim is to get him back every single game. Whether that's possible or not, we don't know. But whether that he'll be here for years to come. He's a Corsham lad through and through. So whether that's he goes to uni, does his stuff, and comes back, he'll still play games for Corsham. Don't get me wrong, but one of the biggest aims at the moment is to get him to play every game. So he's that important to us. So yeah, he's deserved. And when I sent the vote out, I think it was 21 players I asked. He got 14 of the vote, so it shows how much all the players around him rate him, and he's fully deserved. He's been great this year.
Moving on to the supporters player of the season, they voted for Zach Costello this
Yep.
season, your captain.
Yep.
He's been at the club for a few seasons, obviously, and he's been well experienced as a footballer himself. How crucial has he been, as not just as your centre back but as captain, when it came to some of the trickier games in the season. Just how important has he been to the club?
Yeah, huge. For me, we don't have enough voices or leaders in the team. It's something we can improve on. We are a young side, so that's another plus point, is we're hoping to get better throughout the team. But he is the one who people look up to. He's not someone who people would even sometimes associate with being a talker, because he doesn't shout and bellow just for the sake of it.
It's not worked. It's not worked. It's got to work.
I've got to wear this tonight. Jesus. That's twice you've ruined this bloody jacket. God. That's what I've got to deal with each game. Where was I?
So we were talking about
Yeah, what was it, Zach?
Zach, and how important he's going to be next season, trying to push on.
Yeah, so obviously, like I said, he's a huge part to what we're trying to do. Everyone listens to him. He's just been great as well, performance-wise. So just a big thanks to him, really. I think he's been great. There's been moments behind the scenes as well that people won't have seen. So he's been vital, and he's quality. He knows that. So he deserves the award.
And finally, before I let you get off and enjoy the evening,
Yeah.
next season as manager?
Personally, it's a promotion. It's what we want. I'd love to win it, which would be great. And promotion's more important. So however we can do that will be possible, but it won't be easy. For me, it's all very well finishing third and saying things like this, saying, "Oh, we want to win it" and stuff, but it's not necessarily the case. It's like every team's improving around us. We are trying to improve and working really hard on certain things to try and make us even better. But for me, that is definitely the aim. We're a Prem standard club. We've been out of that league too long, so it's definitely the aim. Whether it takes us a season or a couple more, it's definitely what we want to do. So that's the aim, but I don't want to be too naive to think it could just happen for the sake of it. So my job is to make sure the players understand that and try and achieve it, really.